Good Saturday afternoon to everybody out there. Welcome to Randall's weather page. Today we're going to be talking about the tropics, but before I get into that, make sure that you go down and you hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, make sure you're the first to get notified whenever new videos come out. Also, stick around today because I want to show you at the end of this video what the GFS, the American model, the noon run shows. It's quite chilling, and people in Florida and on the East Coast, I've been saying it for about a week and a half, 2 weeks now, you need to be paying attention, especially when a major model starts parking what it parks right outside your porch. All right, but let's get into it. First off, here's the names for the year. We just got through with Omar. Next up is the P's, Paulette, Renee, Sally, Teddy, Vicky, Wilfred, and then we get into the Greek alphabet. I'm about to show you why we're going to have a Greek alphabet year this year. This is the MJO forecast, the Madden-Julian Oscillation forecast. Quite simply, your reds, your oranges here, that is sinking air. It doesn't prohibit storms from happening, but the atmosphere is just not as ripe as it could possibly be. In your greens over here, this is your MJO positive area. This is rising air. It promotes the thunderstorm activity and the development of systems. So this is today. This is what we're looking at today. Notice over the Americas, into the Atlantic, the Gulf, and the Caribbean, we have sinking air. Out in the Eastern Atlantic is kind of just neutral. But this won't keep storms from happening, but the atmosphere is just not as ripe as it possibly could be. But let's go down and start looking around day 15, which would be around the 19th of September. Notice your green, your positive MJO starts entering into the Gulf, into the Caribbean. And by the time we get into the middle of towards the end of the month, notice the main development region, most of your Atlantic, your Gulf of Mexico, your Caribbean, has a bunch of uplift, a bunch of rising air, which promotes activity, which promotes thunderstorm activity and development. And that pretty much continues over the Atlantic through the 9th, 10th, possibly the 11th of October. So the end of September through the 10th, 11th, 12th of October, the atmosphere is going to be juiced for storms. So we will probably, more than likely, 99% chance, hit that Greek alphabet this year because we have a favorable situation, a favorable atmospheric situation forming towards the end of this month and through the 10th, 11th, 12th of next month. Let's get in to what the National Hurricane Center has put out. Omar is right here, moving off. It's pretty much extratropical at the moment. It'll probably disappear from the National Hurricane Center's screen within a day. So not worried about Omar, it's a fish storm. Here's your main region. 92L moving over here. This is 91L. This is a new wave that would be coming off the African coast. So, as you can tell, these two waves, the 92L and this new wave, have a high chance of probability of developing into something. 91L, still the verdict's out, and the reason why is because it gets 92L slingshots over the top of it. There's some interaction, and models are just having a hard time with it, which they should. Let's look at precipitable water. If you follow me, you know I love this because it shows me circulation. This is Omar right here. This is what the National Hurricane Center was looking at yesterday. It's extratropical. This is about to be extratropical. Bye-bye. This is the area I was looking at yesterday. Didn't see much of a twist, but starting to see right now a little bit of a twist at the top. So be interested to see if the National Hurricane Center once again starts taking a look at this or not. We'll see. Here's your main development region right here. Notice the big twist. That's 92L, 91L. You got a twist coming off right here. That's going to be the next wave to come off, and then you got waves coming after that. So once again, total precipitable water shows the circulation. Here is 92L. This is the ensemble models. The ensemble models move this westerly and then start turning it north. Notice most of the models do turn it north, and by the time it gets to the same, right before the 60 west, that's where the latest turn is. So we'll see if this turns out to be that way. Here is your major models plus your hurricane models. They keep it in a westerly track, and then about 120, 144 hour, you start seeing a turn, okay? With your CM2 showing a turn at 72 hours. But the majority show a turn around 120 to 144 hour. This is from the University of Albany, Dr. Brian Tang, amazing researcher. And this is basically a heat map for the ensembles. This shows you what the ensembles look like, where most of them are turning. Notice there's one or two ensemble members that still move this further west before the turn, and one doesn't have a turn, but the majority have a turn up to the north. I'm going to start showing the GFS PARA. This is a brand new GFS, so some parameters are different in this new GFS, the new American model. And I'm going to show you that this has pretty much a turn, but the turn doesn't start to about 140, 150, then a general turn north. And it's not a sharp turn north, but it's more of a gentle turn to the northwest. Okay. Here's the intensity model guidance. Most have this turning into a tropical storm, and notice about the 144 hour when it starts to turn, most of the models have this increasing in intensity when the turn happens. This is the outlier for a hurricane. Most of them have it in a tropical storm and still getting stronger, and that's 92L. Let's go to 91L. The ensemble models are all over the place, once again, because of the interaction with 92L. So general northeast movement, and then it gets caught up with 92L, switches to the northwest. And as you can tell, you got some that go over here, some that switch all the way down towards the Caribbean. Just it's kind of hard to tell until this interaction happens. Major models plus hurricane models show the northeast and then a turn, and it starts heading northwest. Here's the GFS PAR, same thing, northeast. Some of them do a loop. Some of the ensemble models do a loop, but they turn, and notice there is a general intensification when it moves to the northwest. A little bit different from what the intensity models are showing. So we'll have to watch this. Okay. Here is the intensity models, and notice most of them keep it as a depression or just a wave. You only have a couple of models that move it into tropical storm territory. Once again, this is all about the interaction with 92L. Once that interaction happens, the models will have a better guidance on what's going forward. Okay. For us weather nerds out there, I put this on Facebook this morning, but the GFS, the European model, is now running tropical cyclone guidance 4 times a day. Normally, we only get it twice a day, so they just started doing 4 times a day. Thought it was very interesting to look at what this is the noon run, actually the 06 run, and 92L, 92L, here's 91 falling in behind, new wave, not much going on in the Caribbean whatsoever, but look, tightly clustered still on 92L, moving it to the west. So the general trend north, in the northwest, European on the 06 run, still trying to keep it in a cluster. So interesting to see. Now, what I was going to show you, this is a GFS model. East Coast, Florida, you need to pay attention because watch this. This fizzles out. This one comes, high blocks it. Guess what? Parked right off the front porch. I generally tend not to look at the millibar readings because it's too far out. I just look at the general location of where these lows go. But when a major model starts showing this millibar, and right off the Bahamas, Florida, and the East Coast, it gets my attention. That's pretty chilling. Now, once again, this is over 300 hours out. A lot can change, but when a major model starts showing a system, a big system, that close off the East Coast of Florida, it definitely catches my attention, and it should catch yours. Okay? Been saying it for 2 weeks. Need to East Coast, Florida, you need to pay attention, because what's out here now, week and a half, 2 weeks later, is going to be somewhere around in here. You really need to pay attention. And it's all based off this high pressure up here. If this high pressure is a little further west, this goes west. If it's further east, it goes east or northeast, or north to northeast. So this GFS model, man, it caught my eye. So Florida, East Coast, once again, been banging the drum for 2 weeks. You need to pay attention and continue to pay attention, because any little shift in these models can move it one way or another. Let's go to the European model. The European model has this moving more north, okay? But we'll see, because the 06 guidance came out, and it's a little bit further west. So I have to see when the next full European model runs. But notice, it also has a stronger looking cane. That would be a hurricane that's out here, and that's a wave that hasn't even come off Africa yet, and then more to come. All right, and then let's look at the GM model. This is a Canadian model. Canadian model has this meandering for a while, then there's a break, a weakness, and then moves this up north. But still, look at, there's still 2 more on the southern latitudes, with another high pressure building in after this one moves north. Watch this. Here comes that high pressure to build in. And this one would move over too. So, once again, Florida, East Coast, you need to pay attention, especially when a major model, a global model, is showing something parked off your front porch. You need to make sure that you're paying attention. I'm not saying you're going to have a major hurricane here. I'm just saying that models are starting to move these systems a little more west before a turn, and some not turning them at all. So we need to be very vigilant of what's going on. Thank you for watching my page. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. This page is growing, and I can't do it without y'all. And you are absolutely great and wonderful. Thank you very much. I will put out another video tomorrow. We'll see you then.